Hello book lovers, I'm Kiki and welcome back to my little corner on the internet. It's lovely to have you here. This is part 2 of my 31 books in 31 days in January challenge, and welcome back potentially. If you have not seen part 1, I will link it, but yeah, I don't really have a plan per se for this video. I just am going to continue doing what I have been doing, hopefully, because week 1 was really good. I don't know if we'll be able to continue that in week 2, but I am very much looking forward to trying to continue to read as much as I possibly can in January, because this has just really been a really nice way to set myself up for the reading year. I just feel like it was a really great idea to just try to do this in January. We'll see what I think by the end and if I still agree with that sentiment. But anyway, I am not going to make this long, so just enjoy and let's see if I can actually continue to read a book every single day. That's just something I'm going to mention real quick. The intention is to start and finish a whole book in one day, so we'll see if that works. Guys, I am so stupid. I sat down to edit this video and I needed to transfer the clips from my camera, my SD card, to my computer. And I was doing that. And I still had like old footage from old videos on my SD card, so I was deleting them. And I accidentally deleted 3 days worth of footage for this video from the SD card before transferring it to my computer. So now we have lost 3 days of footage, which is slightly annoying. So I am just quickly going to tell you what I've read. I really should have the books for that though. You'll see it in the wrap up. But anyway, first of all, on January 9th, I listened to Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, and I loved that. I gave it 4.25 stars. It was so cute. I love Ali Hazelwood's writing. But I also think that her strengths lie more in like full-length novels rather than short stories. And I will stand by that. They are good, they are cute, they are still inherently Ali, but I just like her long format things more. I still really enjoyed it, and I really liked a little bit of, like, I like the fact that it was set in the sort of gaming world, especially because I started playing Infinity Nikki, and that was so much fun. And then for the sort of more physical book that I read was Ein Augenblick für immer, das erste Buch der Lügenwahrheit by Rose Snow. That was interesting. I gave it 3.25 stars. I saw the potential. I just think that these may be a bit young, and I do not like love triangles. I find them irritating and annoying if they aren't done well or right, and I only know of 2 books or series so far that, in my opinion, have done it right. It was, I don't know, it was just lacking something for me, and I really hope that the second and third book are going to be better, and like we explore the magic system a bit more, because right now it's not. I see the potential again, but it's also German, so it's a bit more difficult for me to enjoy it, but that I read on the 9th. Then on the 10th, I actually read Before We Forget Kindness, which is the 5th book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series by Toshikatsu Kawaguchi, and I gave that 3.75 stars, which is the lowest rating I've given one of those books so far. And I don't know why that is. I think I am starting to have trouble relating to the characters. The stories this time around didn't make me cry. The last one almost got me, but it didn't get me. And the others I cried. And I think that is partially why I didn't give it a 4-star or higher. But I still enjoyed it. It just didn't quite get me, if you understand me. On the 11th, oh my god. So on the 11th, I ended up reading Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon as my book of the day. And I had been wanting to read this for a while because, let's be honest, it blew up on social media. And I sort of didn't read it before, but I was like, what is a short book that has been on my mental TBR for a while? And I was looking at Kindle Unlimited and stuff, and it was like, oh, you know what? Why not try that one? And so I did. And yeah, that was fun. I honestly don't know if I've read in any other books during those days, because I feel like I did, but I couldn't tell you right now. But those were the books for the days that I've read. Okay, update time. I've made it 63% or something through The Dragon's Promise. I literally made it 300 pages into the book, and I am not going to finish this tonight. I can't. I had a feeling this might happen if I start this book because it is big, and it's a book that I wasn't sure I could read in one go, and it is not. I am enjoying myself. The only thing is that it has started to slow down a little bit, and reading it in one go is just making me not love it, if that makes sense. So I am going to set this aside, and I am going to finish this tomorrow. Literally have an hour 45 left or something, which isn't a lot, but it's also a lot, if that makes sense. Like, I have 200 pages left. But to still have read a whole book today, I am going to read... Is this gonna focus? Focus. There we go. This one. The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren. It's one of the books in the Improbable... What's it called? Improbable Meet Cute collection. And this is going to be quick. It's been on my mental TBR for a while, and I'm too, like, I don't care, so I'm too lazy to look for my Kindle, because I still haven't looked for it. It's somewhere in my room, I just haven't figured out where exactly. So I'm gonna read it on my phone. It's also, I can just... But I'm gonna get ready for bed first. So I'm gonna read this in a minute, still finish a book. Hello. Is this a Christmas jumper in January? Yes, but I do not care It is comfortable. Anyway, I did read The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren yesterday, and I ended up giving that 4.5 stars. I actually enjoyed myself a lot reading that. The only thing why it's not 5 stars or 4.75 stars is because the first 6-7 chapters or so are purely written in email format. And while that was cute, it was getting on my nerves, you know? If like you have I don't even know how many pages, 100-page book and 50 pages of that are like emails, I don't know. But otherwise, I really liked it. I really enjoyed the fact that there wasn't really like a miscommunication trope. Like, yes, one person figured things out before the other, but they weren't like annoying about it per se. Like, I liked the way it was handled and everything. So that was really nice. So 4.5 stars. So I decided that I would read the first volume of Cells at Work because my Libby seems to have all of them, and the first one was available and I have been wanting to read it for a while. It's been on my like manga comic to read list on Libby for I think almost a year now. So I'm happy I'm finally reading this. It's also fun because I have technically seen the first few episodes of the anime, so it's really nice to see the manga drawings of it. I also really like the like expressions of the characters and stuff, and yeah, I'm excited to read this. Like I said, this has been on my sort of to read list for a while, and honestly, I'm happy with that because yes, reading 30 books in 30 days was definitely there to help me like work on my 25 series in 2025, as well as just my physical TBR as it is, but it is also here to get me to try some of the books that I have been wanting to read that I can get through Libby or KU. So last night I read Cells at Work Volume 1, and that was really cute. I gave it 3.75 stars. I think if I hadn't watched the anime beforehand, I would have appreciated it more. But yeah, it was cute. I think I also would have loved it when I was like doing blood biology in like high school, like hematology. That would have been such a fun way to learn what the difference between a native T, a killer T, all of the different cells. I think it's such a cute way to learn about it because they have like different descriptions of the cells in it as well. Like, this is what this cell does and this is what this cell does. But it was basically just like, so this is this cell does this, and then because it was in a specific situation, it was like, and this is what its main function is here. And I just think that's so cute. I am definitely feeling myself falling into a reading slump, and because I don't want that, I am not going to force myself to start and finish, or even finish a book today. I am also way ahead on the like 31 books in 31 days because it is the 14th, and I have read like 18 books already, so I'm 4 books ahead of schedule for these videos, and I am like 13 books ahead of schedule for my overall reading goal of 150 books. So I am giving myself today. I found my Kindle, so I am going to continue reading The Maid and the Crocodile for a chapter or two just while I'm in bed so I can like fall asleep. But I am not going to force myself to read today because it's just not gonna work. I will hate myself. I have a confession to make. I have been bad at this. I sort of forgot that I'm supposed to be filming for the past 2-ish days. because I sort of forgot that I have this channel for a second there. I forgot that I started it. And yeah, so let's recap. So 2 days ago, I think, was the last time that I said something, and I said that I wanted to continue reading in The Maid and the Crocodile and see how far I get and just not finish a book on that specific day because I am ahead. And that is the case. I ended up reading part 2 of, I think, 4 in this book, and I'm now about 41% through, 40% through-ish, and I have parts 3 and 4 left, and that is the plan for today. I am going to finish The Maid and the Crocodile today. That is what I read 2 days ago. And then yesterday, I actually ended up picking up the second volume of Cells at Work, and I enjoyed that a bit more. I think I ended up giving that 4 stars, and that was cute, and I stand by what I said. I think that those are a really cute way to learn more about like hematology and just basically how the blood works and how our immune system works, and I think it's just such a cute way, and I very badly ship a red blood cell with a white blood cell. I don't know how that works, but I ship it, and I love the platelets. They are the cutest freaking things in the whole world. Let's get into the reading for today. Being a good little YouTuber and actually filming this. Hello, it is the 17th of January, and I did in fact finish The Maid and the Crocodile yesterday, and that was so good. My only thing is, only at a very, very late point in the book did I realize that I am not getting the beginning of the story, and they kept mentioning something called a ray bearer, and I was like, I feel like I know this from somewhere. Turns out it's because I have seen the cover of the like duology that this book is set in. Like, it's set in the same world, and it's Raybearer and Redemptor, I think the second book is called. And I feel like I could have had a much, much better reading experience if I had realized that I should have probably read Raybearer beforehand, because I feel like I now have spoilers for when I do inevitably end up reading Raybearer, because I will, because this world was absolutely fantastic. I ended up giving it 4.25 stars, and the reason it's not higher is mainly because I felt like I was missing something. Turns out it was probably because I just didn't read the duology beforehand, and it was a bit slow going for me in the beginning. I think that this book was fantastic, and this was definitely something that I needed to read. I want to start diversifying my reading a little more. It's not really going to happen that much until I have gotten my physical TBR down a bit, because I want to own at least some of the books as well. I don't just want to diversify my reading, I want to diversify my shelves. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Especially I'm looking for like BIPOC authors, and also honestly queer authors. I want a little bit more on that front as well. Hi. So if you have seen the entirety of the video, you will have seen that maybe this week did not quite go as I had planned it. The unofficial and honestly official star of this video was definitely Libby and my Kindle after I found it again. Because I only read 2 books from my physical TBR out of 8. So let's just quickly get into it. Before though, I did start off this week by listening to Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, and I ended up giving that 4.25 stars. And I did enjoy it immensely. I especially liked the game development aspect of it, especially me having just recently become absolutely obsessed with Infinity Nikki. It's just listening to that and then thinking of, oh my god, and I'm playing a game. It's so much fun. So I love that. And that was the first thing I actually read. And then I also read Ein Augenblick für immer, das erste Buch der Lügenwahrheit by Rose Snow, and this is one of the German books that is also on my 25 for 2025 list, and it is also part of my January TBR, so I definitely have that one down. But this was okay. I gave it 3.25 stars. I really liked the premise of like this old English like mythology aspect of it, and because it's just there's so much in like the UK. I don't want to say anything wrong because I don't quite know the differences between the different regions and different countries, but it is set in Cornwall, so, and I love Cornwall, so that was absolutely fantastic. But I wasn't quite connecting to the characters, and the love triangle annoyed me immensely, and it's just not it for me, you know? I am going to continue with the series. I will see if the second book gets better. If not, I don't know if I will continue to read the third and last book. But yeah, I just don't know if this first book set up the story enough for me personally, because we do still have like a lot of questions, and which is good given that it's a trilogy, but I just feel like not enough was answered in a way that I liked for me to absolutely be in love with this. Which is also sad because this is my first book by the author duo, because Rose Snow is actually 2 authors. So I will see what happens with this one. And then also physical TBR, I read Before We Forget Kindness by Toshikatsu Kawaguchi, and I gave this 3.75 stars. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the video as well, but this has been my least favorite so far, mostly due to the fact that it did not make me cry, which, you know, shouldn't necessarily be a criterion on which I base my rating on, but with these books I've just come to expect it, and these stories just didn't hit as hard for me. I don't know if it is because I have gotten used to the writing and the stories now, or if it's just truly because I couldn't necessarily connect to these characters as much. The last story almost got me, but it didn't quite. Just in case you don't know, the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series is basically about this cafe that you can go to and you can travel back in time. There are rules that are important that you must follow, otherwise things just won't work out as you hope. One of them being having to drink the coffee before it gets cold so that you return to your own time. So that is basically the premise of these books, and all of these people generally have either a sort of regret that they want to work through, or honestly it's mostly of regret, or unfinished business. Which is funny because usually you talk about, you know, the deceased of having unfinished business, but Anyway, I do still enjoy these books very much, and I'm excited for the next one to be coming out. I'm not sure when that will be, but I will be getting it, and hopefully that will be more in the 4-star and above territory again. Now, honestly, the rest of the books I've read this week were ebooks, so thank you, Kindle. Honestly, thank you, Libby, because I got like 3 of the 5 from Libby and the other from KU. But I did finally read Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon, and I gave that 3 stars. It was honestly pretty much what I expected after it having blown up on TikTok. I sort of enjoyed it. I'm gonna be honest there, that was fun. That was cute. I will probably continue with this series. And I will just see what I think at the end, honestly. I don't know if I can really form opinions on each of the books because they're quite short. I mean, this one was 188 pages. I thought it was shorter, but anyway, still short. And that was also my first sort of alien romance, so getting used to it. You know, we'll see later. Then I also read The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren, which is the first in the Improbable Meet Cute short story collection. And I gave that 4.5 stars. Really adorable, really cute. Loved that there wasn't some sort of like miscommunication going on. It was just a mystery, and I really liked that. The thing that did bother me a little bit, like I said, was the fact that so much of it was written in email format. I think it would have been just more to my liking if there had been a little bit of normal text within the first few chapters instead of just purely email. But I do understand where they were coming from. Did still enjoy it immensely. And then I also read volumes 1 and 2 of Cells at Work by, actually good question, Akane Shimizu, I think. And I gave those 3.75 and 4 stars. And I enjoy these. I pretty much just talked about them. They are cute. They're, I think, a really nice way to learn a little bit more about how the blood works, how the cells work, how the immune system works. And there's an anime, so if you don't want to read the manga, you can go watch the anime. It's really cute. The manga like style of drawing and the animation are like extremely similar. Like sometimes they can't really do it because it's just different, but like literally the same. The platelets are my absolute favorite. I love those little kids. They are adorable and I want to cuddle them. And I am going to continue with the series, definitely. It's been one that's been on my want to read list for a while. So I also want to try probably to get them done relatively quickly because I think there's only 6 in the series. So it's short and quick and easy to read, and I love that. And then the last book that I finished was The Maid and the Crocodile by Jordan Ifueko, and I gave that 4.25 stars. Only belatedly that I realized that this is technically part of the Raybearer world, and I now definitely have to read Raybearer, honestly. If you have read it, please let me know what you thought. I definitely do want to read them now because I did like the story. I feel like I was missing a little bit of background information, but it was cute, it was nice, it was heavy at times, and I did like the subplot of romance that was in there. That was really nice. And yeah, I think that the system of faith and belief and magic in this were something that I really liked. And I'm interested to see how that is like done in Raybearer now. So sooner or later I will definitely have to read it. And I really want to read it now, but I have so much else to read. So I'm gonna try to not do it immediately. But anyway, honestly, this is pretty much what I've read. It wasn't as successful as the first week, and I technically didn't manage it exactly for like 2 days, because one day I was just reading a couple of pages, and then the last day I unfortunately only finished a book. It was 60% of the book. But still, it wasn't technically the whole book, but I'm gonna still count it as a success because we're what, 16 days in, and I've read 20 books. And I've technically read one book more than I needed to in this week, so I'm just gonna count it as a success, and I'm not gonna stress myself out too much. In the coming week, I say that now, but I don't think I'm capable of not stressing. So I will try my best to not stress, and we'll see how the next 2 weeks will continue to be, because we are now halfway through, and I can't believe that. Technically, we're like more than halfway through when I post this through the month, because that's just how the posting schedule works. But right now, halfway. Just ridiculous. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing, especially if you want to see how this continues. And as a reminder, I will link the first video up in the card as well as down in the description, and hopefully you'll check that out if you have not already, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!